Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Otis, your digital marketing analyst. You're welcome to today's section. Today we'll be looking at how to select the best hosting service for business. So in the past, we've been receiving these questions from our fans and our customers, and they're asking how do they select the best hosting service? How do they know the best hosting to select for their business? So I'm going to start by actually telling us what hosting means for newbies. And actually, this video is actually designed for newbies or people who are intending to go online with their business. So the first port of call when you're thinking about going online is about your web hosting, because that's what holds your website on the internet. That's what makes it accessible to the world, for the world to see your site. So that's what hosting simply means, so in the simplest language. So we're going to go dive deep into go drip through different type of hosting and how that relates to your business and how that can inform your decision to make a choice on what hosting to go with. So you're welcome again to our Saturday question and answer section. Like as I've said before, so every Saturday we come here to answer our audience question, and whenever our audience raises a question, we'll try to make a topic around it so that will be elaborate enough for them to really understand and have a clear view have a clear answer to their question. So you're welcome again. And before I move further, I just want to remind us, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel or you've not liked us on Facebook, please just hit the subscribe button as we're talking right now. So thank you again. So now we're going to look at a couple of things that, as I've said, I've talked about hosting. So we'll be looking at 5 different type of hosting for your business, to host your blog, to host your website, and to host your website, and that's literally. So let's begin. I'm going to talk. So today, the hosting service is kind of interconnected. It supports your business. It makes your website accessible to the entire world. And that is why it is very, 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 very important. But we're going to start with the first one, which is actually called the cPanel hosting. So the cPanel, okay, let's look at the different type of hosting first. I'm going to project it for each and every one of us to see. So these are the different type of hosting available. So you have the cPanel hosting, and that cPanel hosting is popularly known as shared hosting, while the business hosting gives you the ultra fast speed of virtual private server. So what that means is that for beginners, if you're a newbie, you can start with cPanel hosting. If you don't have so much files, if you don't have so much images or documents on your website, so you start with and over let's say 80% of bloggers actually start with the cPanel hosting, because it gives you that flexibility to actually share the hosting with different website. So when we talk about shared hosting, what that means is that it's just like you having a 3-bedroom apartment. So you can actually give one to your friends, or give one to your wife, give one to your kids. So, and if you have different websites, so under the same platform, so you can actually host that. Then we'll talk about the business hosting. So once you get to a certain stage and your files are becoming too heavy, because that could slow down your server, so then you're talking about then you begin to talk about business hosting, that you want that ultra fast speed for your website. And it does have implication, because when Google and other search engines begin to crawl your site, you find out that at some point in time, your site begins to slow down. So you need an ultra speed hosting plan. So now we're going to move into the WordPress management hosting, but I'm going to go through each of it. So this is one of the great options for people without technical knowledge. I've had people said, how am I going to build? How am I supposed to build a website? I don't even know anything about the technical aspect, about the coding. So it's just one of the most popular way of actually building your website is actually using the WordPress Manager hosting. And I'm going to show you which is provided by Domain Code. Then we'll have another, which is the virtual private server that gives you an effective and more efficient resource control. Then you have the dedicated server, which is the best solution for high security and high demand for server capacity. So now you're becoming a full-fledged business. So you want to have control over everything. So then at that point in time, the dedicated server is actually one of the best option. So now I'm going to go straight into to actually show you these on the web hosting service company or web hosting registrar, so that you'll be able to actually see how to make the choice, whatever hosting plan that you have chosen based on what we are going to discuss today. So you can see how to actually get it. So I'm going to share my screen. Just bear with me now. Let's go. I'm going to show you. We're going to log into domaincode.com. I'm going to project it. If you're following and you just want to see, this is where we're logging into right now. So I just want to share my screen with you. Let's see. Don't worry. I'll soon be okay. Domain code. So okay, so we are right at the web registrar, so which is domaincode.com. So if you have your question, you can actually send us your question so we can answer the question as we move ahead. So now going into the domaincode.com. So if you get to this point, this is the hosting. So this is the 5 different type of hosting that we've talked about. So I'm going to go over it step by step and actually show you how to actually purchase or select each of these the hosting plan. This is for bloggers, for website owners, for business owners, and whatever thing that you do, you want to get online. You want your business to be accessible 24/7 on the internet. So this is what you should be looking at. So that's the first protocol, the first decision after you have bought your domain name. So the next thing is actually your hosting. So let's go into the cPanel hosting. And this is how I go here and I click on the cPanel hosting. So, and this, you have different options of this cPanel hosting. So why is this one of the most popular? It's just because of its fair pricing. So with $2.49 per month, you can actually host your website. But this is actually for a single website. The cPanel hosting has actually become one of the most popular website management dashboard in the world today, because it's a kind of describe how humanly friendly web-based interface that powers your site on the internet. Basically, if I just want to define it if I want to say it in the simplest forms, it means that you can actually log in and administrate lots of elements of your website easily. You can just go into that at the back end and you'll be able to do everything easily. So it is prevalent with a website that has a shared hosting. Like I said, it has a shared hosting. What I mean is shared hosting, you can actually share one of those rooms with your friends and family, or within all your properties can be housed in this particular location. So I'm going to go deep a little bit to really show you guys. So we have the cPanel starter. The starter is just actually to host one website. That's what that means. You can only host one website on that. So that means if you're buying the cPanel starter, so you can only have one room apartment. That's what that means. So, but for the cPanel hosting, you can actually host, it can actually take more, it does has more space. Then it has more space, the rooms of different sizes. But the cPanel details this you can host unlimited website. What that means that you have multiple rooms in an apartment that you've rented, so you can decide what to do with each of those rooms. That's what this DLOS means. Then the ultimate panel, you're talking about in terms of the speed and the space, unlimited MySQL, that's the Microsoft SQL databases. So you have that. Then the other one is limited to 25. But if you're starting, it might not make much difference. So you can, the good thing about the cPanel hosting is that you can upgrade at any point in time. But for a starter, I can recommend that you start with the cPanel starter, which is actually a fair pricing and also very good. So now we talked about that because I'm just going to run as much as possible. So we'll spend 10 minutes. So the next is I'm going to go into the what we call the next, which is the business business hosting. So business hosting, actually, it gives you the ultra fast speed of a virtual private server. What I mean virtual private server, so you have the control, the enough room, just like you have in the bungalow. So with a super simple control panel that you can use to actually control the website, the one that the user see. So and it's a Linux hosting. I don't want you to get confused with that technical jargon with SUPA. What it means is that it has more resources. So, and you don't need a server administrator for you to actually manage your business hosting. So when do you actually need your business hosting? So if you own a website, let's assume that you have an e-commerce website. And if you have an e-commerce website and you begin to upload different products, you begin to upload different files, and you begin to mass out the resources. So you are using up the available space. Just come to look at it. You have a 3-bedroom apartment, or you have a 2-bedroom apartment, and you have 10 kids. So, of course, you're overstretching that resources. So at that point in time, it becomes a kind of a signal for you to actually look for a roomy space, more space, and that's where maybe you might want to go to a full bungalow. So that's what I'm trying to explain here with your business hosting. So otherwise, it's the same cPanel experience, but with this package, you get all what we call the RAM, the CPU, the bandwidth, without having to hire a professional to help you actually manage it. So that's the why the business hosting is good, because if you already own a blog or you already own a website, you should be familiar with what I'm saying when you begin to get a signal that, okay, your resources has been masked out. So with this, you won't have that problem, because if you look at the features, let's run through that. And if you look at the features, and you have about 60 gigabyte storage, 2 gigabyte RAM, and 1 CPU on meta traffic. So that, especially for newbies, that will be enough. But as your business goes on, the good thing is that you can actually upgrade, as I've rightly said earlier. So I'm going to go into the WordPress, which is one of the most popular content management system. Though I have a question that my audience have actually sent to me, but I will be looking at it as soon as I go over this in the next few minutes. So the WordPress hosting is actually a great option for people who don't want to deal with the back end technical operation of running a website. So if that is you, so you can actually start with the WordPress manage hosting. It's easy to use, and it includes securely. It includes security, speed, and WordPress update, daily backup, website uptime, and scalability. So, and if you're using WordPress, you should be familiar with this. But if you're a newbie, it's important for you to know this. Like as I said, if you're a beginner, it's also very good very good for you. You will enjoy a very good user experience, and it's SEO friendly. But the only downside is that Manage WordPress, you can only manage a single WordPress website on Manage WordPress. You don't share the resources. You're not going to host two websites on that if you're using the Manage WordPress. So that's why some people start with a cPanel where they can actually, if they have a blog and they have additional websites, or for their wife or for their kids, they can actually include it there. That's just the only difference. So now I'm going to go into virtual private. This is VPS, is actually known as the virtual private server. So it provides more efficient resources. It provides more efficient resources for your website, and it offers that scalability, and it gives you control over your website than any other web hosting plan, with ease of managing the server's physical hardware. So that's why, so when you're making a decision, it is important that you understand, because people get confused when they get, why are we having different hosting? So this is the reason why you're having a different hosting plan, because they all serve a specific purpose. So, and that then, before we go into the question and answer section, so we want to talk about the other one, which is the dedicated server. So the dedicated server is completely, it gives you this other point that your business is becoming so big now, and your files that your website contains are so big, and you need an exceptionally high level of data security and high demand for server capacity. So that's when you go for the dedicated server. But for beginners, like I said, you start with a cPanel or Manage WordPress Hosting. So each has a different price points, which you can actually look at. So take a look at it, go to domain code. It is self-explanatory at that point. So now I'm going to go into the questions that our audience have sent to us. And like I said, we are here to answer your question and provide solutions to your questions. So now, this okay. So I'm going to pause this, then go back to the questions again. So I'm going to share my screen to. If you have questions, please don't actually forget to send us your question. We're here to answer your question. So I'm going to share the screen again to answer some of the questions that have been sent to us. So as we begin to wind up to this section, so now let's go ahead. I'm going to do where is our PowerPoint presentation? So we'll have the question there. So now I have this question. So, and someone is actually asking me, what is the cPanel hosting? What is cPanel hosting? So, and the second question is actually, what is cPanel? Sorry, no, the first question is cPanel hosting free? And the second question is, what is cPanel used for? So I'm going to answer the question. Then the last question is, what is the difference between the cPanel and the WordPress hosting? So the question whether the cPanel hosting is free. No, cPanel hosting is not free. So it's not free. So, but we'll come to that. So then the question is, what is cPanel used for? The cPanel is actually a Linux, which is a kind of technical jargon, graphical friendly user interface. So it allows you to publish websites, manage domains, and organize web files, create email accounts. So that's what the what the cPanel is used for. So it powers your website. It is just the back end that powers your website. You can manage your domains. You can manage all your files from your cPanel dashboard. So now the next question is, what is the difference between the cPanel and WordPress? So cPanel is actually a server management technology. So while the WordPress, that's the simple the difference. Whilst WordPress is actually one of the content management system or platform, if as you depending on how you see it, which you can build your website, and it also has a friendly graphic user interface that makes it easy to manage your server, even if you don't even have the technical knowledge. So that's the difference between the WordPress and the difference between the cPanel and the WordPress. The question is, why do I still need cPanel when I'm using the WordPress? Well, you don't actually need it, but it makes your task easier when if it installed on your cPanel. But in whichever way, you can use your WordPress without the cPanel dashboard. So I hope that answers the question. So I'm going to circle around to see if there's any other question that is available that was sent to us. Do you need the cPanel for your WordPress? So another question is from our fan, is asking if do you need cPanel for your WordPress? I think I've answered that question. No, you don't need cPanel for your WordPress. But like as I said, it makes your task easier. So let's circle back again. Is there any other question? If you have any question, just send it in. Okay, another question is, can I get WordPress for free? Yes, absolutely. You can get WordPress for free. But remember, the word free is the freedom, but it is not a free beer. Just understand that. It is not a free beer. It is free. You can download the software. You can download the software and begin to build your website. But the downside is this. You don't have that freedom is limited when it comes to your website domain name. So it has to be wordpress.com/ your domain name. And it puts quite a lot of people off when they see that. But I'm not saying that it is wrong for you to use it. If you're learning, you can actually try that. But there are limitations to the freedom how you can actually use that. And they can also run ads. And so a couple of things. So when you said, can I get it for free? So yes, it's an open source system. You can get it for free. But remember, nothing is free. Always have that at the back of your mind, because in one way or the other, you'll pay for it. So that's one of those downsides about that free WordPress. So that freedom is limited when you want to use your domain name. You can actually use your domain name like www.abc.com, but it has to be www.wordpress.com/ your domain name. And it makes people feel that you're not ready for business. So that's why run away from it if you can. But if you want to use it to learn, yes, it's a good starting point for you to actually learn. So if there are other questions, I would like to answer it because we are winding up. And as I wind up to this section, I just want to remind us again, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please just hit the subscribe button below and the notification bell so that you get an alert. And if you like what we're doing, please share it with your friends and family. And also, don't forget to send us questions. We come here every Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, to discuss questions that our audience are asking and to simplify your online journey. We answer every question, any question relating to getting online, including the setting up of your website and your blog. So I want to say thank you for taking out your time to actually watch this program and listen to our conversation. So again, I want to say have a great day and have a great weekend. So I look forward to see you in our next week section. Okay, bye for now. Okay.